I was pregnant. Funny that. After all those years spent denying any kind of affection, I got knocked up. Just like that. So my Dara is a fairy prince. Can't believe he fell for it. Truth is, I just went to pick some flowers one morning, and there he was. Sparkling eyes and everything. It was just like they said in the songs. I remember feeling my heart racing for absolutely no reason other than the fact that this fine specimen was standing right in front of me. And I couldn't stop thinking, there's no possible way all the songs are true. After all those years spent yearning, of making up images in my head of the epic romance it would take for me to get to that point. And all it took was just one damn day and one person to change everything. When I first saw him, it was like looking into the sun. He had a brightness of character that I had never experienced before. "Why are you cutting my roses?" were the first words he uttered to me. I deflowered his forest, and he deflowered me. Fair exchange, I guess. It wasn't long before I started throwing up every morning, and people started commenting on the fact that my bosom was looking awfully plump. Oh my God. Can you believe the audacity of some people? To comment on my body like I'm some mare on sale. So, I had to tell Madara as a fairy prince in the forest. I couldn't admit to being with child of someone that I'd basically just met. I was supposed to be the sensible, smart daughter, and I really did not know this man. I barely spoke on our encounters. I was hoping to never see him again, but I had to go into the forest one morning to pick some herbs to undo the pregnancy. The moment that I plucked the plant, he fucking appeared. Oh, my body betrayed me again with the same feelings. Heart racing, senses blunted by whatever smell perfumed his body, and my breath suddenly became unbearably slow. My God, how pathetic. When he saw the herb in my hand, his demeanour changed. His personality, his real character started slipping through the cracks. I had made the decision and he was not very happy about it. Oh, he swayed me with words, told me beautiful stories of how he'd look after me and the babe, called me an old soul and his one true love, told me I was special and that I could save him from his pains and tribulations and that I needed to save him. I was his only solace in this terrible world. Oh, and how beautiful would it be if I were to have his babe? We were bound together this way forever. And I felt this kind of energy, this power he had over me. So I was still young and still naive. And this was the first man to ever tell me he loved me. Out of all the girls in all the woods, I was the one he wanted to be with. Or so I thought. It made me feel special. Something was off, and thankfully I could just about sense it. He thought I hadn't realised, because he had specifically picked me for one reason, and the one reason alone, that I was entirely open to being manipulated. Young maidens, you see, so easy to do with what you want. When I told him I had to leave, his demeanour changed again. He ordered me to stay and I decided against it. So, before he could force himself on me, I fled with the herbs in my pockets. He screamed, called me a whore, and swore he would find me. I am now 28, a proper spinster. It is you who've decided to call me the village witch. Well, that's what they say of the young woman who disappear. No, the children who disappear. Because he knows what he's doing. Pick them young. Pick them fertile. Pick them naive enough to think that he is someone worthy of their time and sacrifice. So, I spent years of my life studying, trying to help others like me who weren't quite ready yet, because maybe it was never their choice at all. I studied all the herbs and medications required to help people like me. I sought to protect these young women, these children and the naive, and to give them the choice whether to have children or not. My medication gave them the choice to choose not to have a fate decided by anyone else other than themselves. And I met others that needed my herbs for other reasons too. Some women would have died without my medication. Others, like me, I fought for them to have a choice, not to be forever trapped by the powerful men who took advantage of their minds when they hadn't yet even fully formed. I've learned, as I've grown, that these people entice old souls to be their loving partners, to hold them through the multiple tribulations that the world sends their way without ever paying attention or care to the actual person they're stepping on. People's minds form when they're 25 years of age. Did you know that? And that's when the spell is broken. That's when they look up at the person who's taken away all those years that they could have spent learning, growing, enjoying. I did what I could when I was young to keep people away from the woods. So I started the rumour about the fairy prince. Don't go into the woods alone, fair maidens, for Tam Lin will possess your virginity and your soul. Not ideal, of course. I'd rather they get rid of the man, but he was difficult to find. And I've heard many other stories of people doing the exact same thing to young people. So, that's that. And then, from there on, people decided to call me the village witch, with all my herbs and medications. But, to be completely honest, while I'm here, that's not my only name. Have you heard of the changelings? People abandon their children in the woods because they swear they've been changed by the fairy queen. Well, I am the fairy queen. These girls, who aren't lucky enough to have the herbs, they are sent off to have their babies and then abandon their children to the fairies in the woods because they swear they've been changed by the fairy queen. I take these children from the cold. I help raise them and then pass them on to worthy mothers who come to me to seek herbs to induce pregnancy. I have those too, because not every woman is able to carry a child, and so I help them too. And their husbands often go off to war or off to sea, and they return to find a healthy, bouncing babe in their wife's arms. It works perfectly well. I just advise these wives to tell their husbands just before they leave that they have an uncle with surprisingly blonde hair. So on their return, they suspect nothing. Maybe it's not quite right, but in this world, I like to see it as justice, balancing the scales. I was a child when Tam Lin took me, and I grew up to become a woman who helps others have the choice, have the ability to do so with their lives, with their bodies, whatever they wish to, for it is theirs. So, whether you call me the fairy queen or the village witch, I'm Janet. I am the same Janet of Carterhoe, who wishes to help people to have the choice not to fall into the same unfairness of the world that I did. So, after hearing my story, I ask of you again, do you still wish to have me burnt?